So, I'm a firm believer in the email templates. And that's a big part of, what I use it for, but it's so much more, it's just that one place where everybody lives. And
What
again,
I get from you, right, is how the CRM is the core, but for you to take your processes and to get it into the system so that it works with you. And now
right.
you've got like a fellow teammate, you know what I mean? That's going
Yeah.
your direction. And it's not too, your CRM's not going this way and then you're going this way. No, you both are going in the right direction. And so I feel some agents they have a CRM, they don't have luck because they don't have the process. Some agents have a process, but they don't have a CRM. So they're doing everything, Gmail-ish, and they're doing everything organically and stressing and taking hours to do one thing when they can be start using a CRM, leveraging all that technology and being able to do things quickly. So,
Yeah.
I
And
feel
this is the
that's
thing
that's what you
too.
found, you know what I mean?
I remember when I took on this, when I signed up with you guys, I'm like, okay, I, again, at that time, money, my expenses, I didn't have a lot of money for expenses. So I'm like, okay, I'm paying for this. I need to utilize it. And if that meant me getting up an hour before the kids got up to spend time when my phone wasn't ringing or I wasn't going to get
Yeah.
distracted, then that's what I had to do. But you've got to invest the time into it. Just because you sign up for a CRM, it's not going to automatically help you. You've got to put your people in there. You got to categorize them. If you're going to want to develop email templates, which I highly recommend, you have to spend time crafting that email and putting it and going through and maybe running it through ChatGPT and again, mine have evolved over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's not a magic wand that's just going to make your business. You've got to utilize it so your business can grow. You've got to be in it. You've got to be updating your clients so that when you start to feel that slowness, you can go in, who are my hot clients? Who are my people that are warm? However you want to categorize it, right? You
Mhm.
can look and be like, okay, these are the people, not this big grouping. Like this is who I focus on. We get and especially when our business is slow, I feel like I've seen in this industry. Also, we get in a frantic mode. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay grounded and you got to go to the source and you've got to look at who do I need to be talking to.
No,
Um and
go
and
ahead.
and it's going to grow. I mean, next year I would expect that my clients that have lived in my CRM is going to be in the 40 percentile.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Your
so on
percentages.
because I've added new people that have come from other sources and it keeps growing year after year. So, but I mean, I look forward to the day where I can say 60% of my clients is coming from my CRM or even higher. It's a growth process,
Yep,
you know. And I'm okay. Slow and steady wins the race, right? You
absolutely.
know,
Well, it's an approach. I mean, still doing it fast, and you may get to the race line a couple of times, and you may find some money, but what is that going to do to you? I mean, you may
okay,
burn yourself into the ground to to
okay,
to make that.
let's look at there's a lot of agents out there that's struggling this year. Okay, some of those agents might have started up during COVID where just people were falling in your lap, right?
Right.
You didn't really have to go out looking for them or stay top of mind. They just were, you could be a
Hey,
part of a system and just be getting deals, right? Now it's different. Those that are struggling are those that just didn't have any back end systems that kept their business in line,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
At least from my perspective, you
So
know,
a question that I had, like when you were talking about being frustrated, and how many CRMs have you had the chance to play around with?
uh, three other ones.
And when you've been frustrated and you've needed help, how has those CRM support like
I was on my own other than maybe searching on YouTube and watching videos. Okay. I did not have a person that I could call, text, email to say, how do I do this? And I
or I
mean,
need
I
some help
know
with whatever, right?
yeah, and I know you can think of some times where I would be like frantic, like I need help. I'm trying to do this. Like
Of
and
course. Yeah.
you're like, okay, I got you. Or either you would log into my CRM and fix it for me or whatever, or you'd give me a call or a text or whatever and say, do this, this, and this. And I'd be like, okay, I'm back on track.
But so what I'm so and that was a crucial part of you saying, okay, I'm in the right place is having that support
Oh my gosh,
blanket.
'cause
I mean,
I come from a techie background. Yes, it was, what, 20 years ago, but I'm not scared of tech, but it's also that as an agent, as a solo agent, I'm wearing multiple hats. Okay. I've got to market. I've got to put some stuff out on Instagram, social media, whatever. I've got to be working with my current clients. So to find the time to like really dive into and play around with until I figured a problem, something out, sometimes I didn't have the attention span to do that, right? So that's when I would call you. And you would help me. Now that reminded me of something that I think is important to talk about because open houses have become a lot more in the forefront of our business. Okay. In fact,
yeah.
I've gotten a couple deals just from having an open house. And I'm not a big fan of open houses just because it's the Sunday when my husband's actually home. But
Hey,
but I'm gonna tell you, I've gotten some clients and anyway, so you helped me
create the QR code.
yeah, you created a
Yeah.
QR code that I could put on a flyer. So I use the same QR code. So it's a Canva document. I just switch out the house, reprint it. Okay. People can scan it. It pulls up a form on their phone. They input their information, hit submit. It goes to Field Notes and it puts them in my database. Okay. Then it automatically
Lead
sets
to
them
the
on
lead.
an action plan so that 2 hours after the open house, they're getting just a happy, nice message that's just like, "Hey, nice to meet you," whatever you want to say. But okay, now we got an automated process, right? So then I can still call them because
Absolutely.
you know, but at least I've had a touch point in there, right?
They
With
get the perception that they've put their information into something in which they're now going to be taken care of. You know what I mean? Instead of just, oh, I gave my data away. Oh, and then start getting weird phone calls from all kinds of people. No, it's from you. You know what I mean? You're
and
you're
I tell you,
purposely going to handle it, you know?
where and I know there's always going to be people that are like, oh, I don't want to give up my information. Okay, whatever, but I got tired of, I went and had one open house where I had them write it on a paper form. I think this is where I told you I said I need a different plan
Yeah.
because I couldn't read the writing, and some of them I thought felt like they gave me a phone number missing a digit, whatever crazy stuff, right? And I'm just like, and then my seller was like, did you call him? Did you figure out the number? And I'm like,
How can I?
no, I don't even know if the other, 6 digits are right. Or, I'm just
Right.
like, so this just gave me away.
So this has
And,
helped
and this is
in
the
many
thing
different.
I know some other people said, well, I take a iPad and I let them touch the iPad. I'm like, I don't want anybody, because if it gets dropped, broken, whatever, I
Go
just
get a new one.
yeah, I just let people scan the QR code, they enter their information, and it's asking for some very basic information. I just say it's for security reasons. I need to, I have some little line I say, and I get
Right,
them to
right, right, right.
information. So, but that was a huge win. And I feel like, agents out there that are doing open houses, you need to get those people into your database. They actually got out of their house to go look at houses. Now, some neighbors are just truly being nosy. That's fine, but they're local people who have shown an interest. Uh,
Correct. And sometimes that interest is a low level interest that could seed into something else. And by you knowing that this person has like a small beginner interest, and then you start with your touches, now they start seeing, hey, you know what? Renee really knows what she's doing. Look at this email that she just sent us. It's helpful. You know what I mean?
Well, and I
This,
think
that.
too, yeah, and I think that opens up the door for adding some emails to that action plan to educate buyers. We've had a lot of changes in our industry.
Yeah.
Be be the educator,
Yeah.
right? Be upfront with it and just be
Source of knowledge.
source of knowledge, be the expert. This is a time where we need to demonstrate our expertise. I say often, this is not a job for me, it's my career. Okay. I'm constantly looking at how I can grow, how I can use my tools to support me in my growth. Okay. And again, say it over and over. CRM is one of the biggest tools that I have. Okay. It's one of
Yeah.
my foundation tools. So, uh, I'm just amazed at how many agents that don't have a CRM. And this is what I'm going to say too. And that's why I kind of put the cart before the horse when I signed up for that, lead system. I think it was $400 a month. Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
I did that. I
That's
signed up and it was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a way to stay
dang.
connected with these. So then you were helping me scramble to put all that in place. I would highly recommend you have that in place before. If anyone is willing to sign up and pay that kind of money, then you need to pay for a CRM first.
I think
That's
it took
better.
about a month and a half for that action plan to start producing results. I mean, I remember what you were saying was nobody was following up. You had little to no engagement with your organic outreach, right? Then you installed this and you're getting phone calls. People weren't going 3 days from when they got
I
into your
was getting
system.
calls. I was also getting people that said no, so I didn't waste time on them. That's a thing. You can go down a rabbit hole, right? So at least I mean, to me, the no's were as valuable as the yeses in some aspect because at least I
Yeah.
could remove them and I wasn't spinning my wheels on them, right? Um, but the big thing too is for me, my personality is not, I am not one to sit every day and cold call. I'm not a cold call agent, okay? That's like grinding my teeth. And I know I need to do
Yeah.
it. Okay. I
Yeah.
there's sometimes where I just need to pick up a phone call. And I mean, I'm okay. It's just I'm just not good at it. Okay. I mean, once I start calling, I'm good and I'm okay with taking rejection. I mean, at least then, like I said, at least I know where they stand, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that. It's just not my personality. That's what it boils down to. And I think a lot of, I've run into that a lot. And agents are like, oh, I'm not a cold caller. I'm not a door knocker. Well, no, I'm a relationship agent and I use my CRM and I kind of hide behind the emails, right? And the text messages
Hey.
that it can do, but it works.
And it's
It
for you. It's your
works.
style. It's comfortable for you. So it allows you to work. You can get more invested in it because it's your way. And I think people need to think about that is like, you know what? I can leverage a CRM. If I'm not a cold caller, then perfect. Your approach is the best approach. You know what I'm saying? But if you are a cold caller, just yesterday, so I'm working with this guy, I think out of Virginia. He does strictly probate. He calls me yesterday and because we've been categorizing his leads, because he used to just have a big bucket of leads. And then I'm like, no, we got to break this up. We got to figure out what we have, what we're targeting, and how we're going to target. So I started to show him open rate, something he never even thought of, fathom, right? So I start seeing him. We've sent 23 emails to this person and zero has opened. I was like, what do you think needs to happen here? Silence. Call that guy. You've got emails that are going to somebody that's not even opening up anything. And so what's the problem? You know what I mean? What's the problem there? Call that guy. So with that, I got him hip to go through his data, and he said, I have now three new opportunities because I called all of this stuff that you could easily see that is not engaging, and it because you can see the stuff that is engaging, and then you see the other stuff that's just not doing anything. Call that stuff. He was able to utilize all of those emails that he touched, like that he sent out to these people as, hey, I've been sending you stuff like, right, here's this email, here's that email. And then people were like, oh, and they immediately opened up to him to the point where now he has three more opportunities coming down the line. So I get this phone call and he's just extremely happy to share this kind of information like, yo, this is like everything that you put me onto and have helped me up until this point. It's like, oh my God. And now he has, so he's a cold caller. He'll pick up the phone. He's not shy to that, but he will most likely do it more now than ever because he just pulled three rabbits out of his hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
And
all out of his CRM system. And it's just why
yeah.
wouldn't an agent want to have these types of benefits, even though it's frustrating, it's everything under the moon, right? But I do think you've got to go to a couple of CRMs, test your luck. You know what I mean? See if the CRM works
Well,
with you, if you're able to, and then see if it works. If not, find a company that can support
you've
you and help you build your
got
business.
You got to give it time. You have to you've got to grow with it and work it, and it's not going to change your business overnight, and especially if you're not using it. You've got to put the
Yeah.
effort into it, and understand and explore and ask questions, especially when you have a resource like you who's available to answer and take time and help set up and open our eyes to what is out there. I
It's
continue
tough.
I continue to grow with it, and
Got to.
utilize different things. And it's kind of when I'm ready, when I'm ready to do this with my business. Okay, how can you help me? Whatever, the conversation is. But, you know, again, I'm wearing several hats because I'm an independent agent. I do everything, I don't have any, and I'm good with that. But it's slow and steady, right?
Yeah.
It's perfecting that because I can't risk losing or I can't risk my transaction suffering. But that what's great about that is I've captured so much of what I want to say and how I want to say it and the tone I want to, the tone and everything in these email templates. Okay. I keep having to do a plug for email templates because it takes so much of the work off of my shoulders because I just take 5 minutes and send the client this and it just communicates.